good morning folks, it's Paul here from Biking Life. It is Saturday, 9:57 on the morning and it's 10 degrees and I'm off out for a little ride out. Now I do know there is raining at the moment in Barnard Castle. I am heading over that sort of way, but if the rain does start to come I will be taking a detour and try to avoid it as much as I can. I mean, it looks nice around this area. Now I've looked all over where it's nice and dry, and it's certainly dry around this area and on the North Yorkshire moors, but it's not where I want to go today. I do actually want to head over to Barnard Castle, Middleton in Teesdale and places like that. I'm actually using a car sat-nav, as you can see, and I've actually waterproofed it. Now there is a way to waterproof these car sat-navs, so if you fancy or you can't afford the phenomenal price of like the Garmin Zumo and stuff like that, then the car sat-nav is definitely the way to go. I mean, if you're heading over towards sort of places like the Lake District and the North Yorkshire moors, you're going to get twisty roads anyway, so you don't actually need to have this to tell you where the twisty roads is. You know what I mean? So do a little bit of planning at first of your destination, and you could use these. Now I've waterproofed the outside and everything like that, and besides as well, whilst I'm moving, I mean the screen's waterproof now, so there's no water going to get in, but whilst I'm moving, this screen here protects it anyway, so you're not going to get a lot of water on that. But I have tested it, I've sprayed it with water and it's perfectly fine and it's still working there, you know what I mean? So yes, I'm making my way over there. This isn't a commute folks, I know this is my route, but I'm just making my way there. So what I'm going to do, this was just a bit of an introduction. I'll talk a little bit more about this sat-nav and why I've done it and stuff like that. But what I'll do is I'll bring you back when we're near, well, when we see some better countryside to look at, because I'm going to actually be hitting some big major A roads and they're as boring as hell, so you won't want to see that. So I'll bring you back in a little while. Well, we're at the end of the A66, I think. Well, not the end, but we're near Darlington anyway. That's where we're at the moment. There's still nothing to see. That's the only thing with coming this way. You do have to go down the A19 along the well, the parkway you've got to go to, the A19. Oh, this block, wow, hey, lad. And then onto the A66 towards Darlington to get to Middleton in Teesdale and Barnard Castle that way. But the sat-nav is absolutely performing above and beyond. I mean, yeah, I suppose if it was bright sunshine, I don't know whether you'd be able to see that. I think you might. But yes, we're going to go straight over here. We're about 28 miles away from Middleton in Teesdale, but that doesn't mean to say we're 28 miles away from the very, very nice views that I shall be bringing you. Well, we're just coming to the end of the A66 now, and we're going to go in through Darlington and head on to the A67, I believe it's called. That way up there takes you to Scotch Corner, but we're not going that way. We're going this way. Now Barnard Castle is this way folks, Bishop Auckland too. So this is the way I'm coming. Lovely tree lined road this, isn't it, with all these beautiful colours. Yeah, so this is Darlington folks. That's where we're at. There's a fair bit of mud on the road, like, I will say that, a lot of crap. That's what you've got to watch out for. Ride steady, it doesn't matter. So we'll get through here, and surely we'll be presented with some nice countryside, folks. Well, we're leaving the outskirts of Darlington. Alright, okay, you're going in there, pal, are you? Going to the Scran van. Unfortunately, I didn't bring any money to get any Scran. I think I have about £2.50 maybe in change in my wallets, but that's about it. See, yes, we're heading on the outskirts of Darlington now on the A67, heading towards Barnard Castle. Dropping down to a 40. What do you call this? Merrybend. That's the village that we're coming through. Merrybend. Always respect the speed limits, folks. It's your duty. You couldn't. I don't know whether I could live with killing someone or running someone over. I try and respect the speed limits everywhere I go. Some nice houses in this little place, isn't there? Quite big as well, aren't they? Right, so let's get up to 50 now. Might get some viewing. I don't know. Yes. We're getting a bit of viewing. Well, I'd rather have the engine, thank you very much. Not my cup of tea that anymore. As I say, once upon a time it used to be. So we're dropping High Connie's Cliff. Dropping down to 30. It's a nice little village as well, isn't it? I think I have rode through here before. Some very old buildings. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a grey, murky day, you know, but it's still a good thing to do by getting out on your motorbike. And you don't want to spoil it by, you know, it's bad enough that it's grey and murky, but you don't want to spoil it by getting yourself a speeding ticket and that. But we are going to see some very, very beautiful sights before long, and I'm really happy I've come over this way. As I was about to send old Dave a message to say it's looking very much like there's rain in Barnard Castle, and I don't know whether I'm going to be going. I'll go somewhere else and hopefully get to Barnard Castle at another point. But I didn't. I refrained from sending it because I thought, oh, sod it, I'm going. What's a bit of rain? I keep harping on saying I don't mind riding in the rain, but it is where it is. I mean, I don't want to ride in the rain. If I had a choice, I wouldn't. But then I would miss out on all this beauty, wouldn't I? It is a beautiful land. Yeah, so this sat-nav is an old TomTom I've had for donkey's years. And I've been toying with the idea of getting a sat-nav myself. Well, here's Middleton in... No, this is Teesdale, sorry. Yeah, I've been toying with the idea of getting a sat-nav. But when you look at the likes of TomTom, I think the cheapest one you can get is, what, £300 and something pound? And then you've got the Garmin Zumo. And I think that's 200. I think the cheapest one I can get of that is £250. And I thought, well, what benefits do they have? They have a lot more benefits than this one. I mean, for one, they have the ability to upload maps through Wi-Fi. They have Bluetooth, which, you know, allows you to hear the directions. But I must admit that doesn't bother me in the slightest because I can't stand the voice of sat-navs. Especially if you're in a a town or something like that, and you come into a roundabouts, this, that and the other, they're constantly repeating themselves and it drives you insane. So I don't have the sound on anyway, so I don't need to hear. But the Bluetooth ability will allow you to your phone to connect to it and stuff like that, which is always a good thing. So, but you can see your texts and phone calls and stuff like that. Well, I don't want that, because I'm out on the bike. Bloody phones are in your life far too much as it is. Well, that's a bit of a wreck. You know, everyone you see is on the phones, heads down, like blooming walking zombies. So why the hell do I want it on a display, distracting me from the road ahead? It takes 1 second and I can miss something and hit something, and I don't want that. So that's why I thought, well, what I'll do is I watched a video on YouTube about how to waterproof your sat-nav. I thought, hey, there you go, there's a good idea. I might give that a go. I have an old sat-nav. I wasn't bothered about whether it worked or it didn't work. I've had it donkey's years and I got it given, so I got it for nothing. It's cost me absolutely nout. The old TomTom. So I tried it, and lo and behold, it fired up straight away. Because I haven't used it for, must be 10 years. It fired up straight away. And I went through the waterproofing process and tried it with some water. Lo and behold, it works. It bloody works. So I've got myself a little sat-nav that I can use on my little tours, and it's cost me absolute nothing. And those are the kind of bargains that you really, really want. I'm going to stop here just for a little break. Well, a couple of things happened there. When I stopped for a little break, there's a bin just behind me, and lo and behold, on the ground just here, just there, was bloody rubbish. Then the first person I saw coming this way in a car was on a mobile phone, a woman. And I thought, Jesus Christ, come on. Don't you know how bad that can be? What is wrong with people? It's illegal. There's been many a death caused by people on mobile phones, and yet they still can't leave them alone. You know, mobile phones should be made to be locked in your glove compartment when you're driving a car. I mean, I had the choice of putting my phone on here, but again, it's a distraction, so it goes in the inside of my pocket. I very rarely use it the only thing I use it for is YouTube when I'm home. And I used to use it for navigation for a sat-nav now and again. But I tend not to do that now. Oh, I love the autumn colours, don't you guys? I mean, if this was sunny now, I mean, look at this road. You could go flying up this road. You could if you really wanted to. It's a 60 mile an hour road, but we're not going to do that. We're going to stick to the speed limits today. This is what it's all about, a nice leisurely ride. And we're going to take in some of the most beautiful countryside that this country has to offer. I mean, I live, as you know, right next to the North Yorkshire Moors, and that is one of the most beautiful places in England. But we're coming up to the Pennines way and stuff like that, and it's, oh, I can't wait, I really can't wait. Now on days like this, such as weekends, you do get the police sat in laybys anyway, monitoring traffic. You can go to Richmond that way, left down here, I suppose. Yes, you can go to Richmond. Well, we're not going to go to Richmond. Yeah, there's a sign there saying Richmond. We're going to continue and head in towards Barnard Castle. That's the plan, and that's where I'm sticking to. This is for you, old Dave. You and your beautiful wife. I'm doing it. I'm out. We know it's a bit of a miserable looking day, but we're still there. We're still out there, buddy. And hopefully when we do go into Barnard Castle, you'll see some of the places that you remember very well. I've never been for, it must be 30, 40 years to Barnard Castle. Look, I'm looking forward to going. Because there's a view over to my left, and it's obviously you can't see it too well because of the grey dullness, but by God you can see for miles. Yes, really nice rolling countryside. And as we're climbing up this way, we're a little bit more exposed, and there's a tad more wind, but it doesn't matter, does it? I think when I stop next, I'm going to get my other gloves out, because these are my summer gloves, and they are it is a tad cold on. I mean, I could put my heated grips on. I did have them on, but they are a tad too cold, my finger ends. So I'll bring you back in a little bit. Oh, look at that, that's nice. I love these old farm buildings, don't you? It's a case of, do I want to turn this video off? I'm really, I mean, it's a the good thing about it, I can just record for 9 hours, and I don't even have to bother turning it off, to be fair. I might not turn it off, I might just leave it on. 9 hours, I'm not going to be out for 9 hours, am I? The only trouble with doing that, then, you've got a hell of a lot of footage to trawl through. This series could go on for a while. The good thing is, I do have it's 128 gig in there, so we would record a fair amount of, oh wow, a fair amount of footage. Wowza. Beautiful, isn't it? God's country. We are very fortunate to be living in this kind of environment. Maybe a tad windy, maybe a tad cold, but I'll tell you what, the beauty of this place wins hands down, and it makes it well worthwhile coming out to see all of this. Absolutely beautiful. And we haven't even seen the best of it yet. This is just the start, folks, the beginning of Paul's mini tour. So Big Red tomorrow is going to get a hell of a good wash. He really is. I'm going to go get him out of the garage, and I'm going to go through him like a dose of salt. I'm going to clean every little bit, ready for the enduring week ahead. That's the plan. He definitely deserves it. Keep looking after him, I always say. It's well worth your time and effort. Yes, my hands, I'm going to put these heating grips on a tad. My hands are a little bit, oh, we're coming into Barnard Castle. Welcome, old Dave. We're here, Barnard Castle, buddy. So this is Barnard Castle. I've never ever come in this way. After Barnard Castle, we're going to head over to Middleton in Teesdale. Wow, look at these houses. I can see why you like this place. The old bumpy road, mind. you ever come in this way then, Dave? So we're going to go straight on through Barnard Castle itself. I think if I find a little spot in the high street, Dave, I might pull up for you, buddy. Yes, this is definitely an old village. So there is castle ruins as well. Oh, actually, I'm going to pull in here. Oh no, I'm not. That's Middleton in Teesdale. What I'll do is I'll go down into Barnard Castle and I'll come back up this way. Sorry about that. We'll have a look down here first into Barnard Castle, because that was the whole point, wasn't it? And we'll come back up this way. She looks a bit cold, bless her. That's the beauty about Big Red. He affords you a hell of a lot of protection. So this is Barnard Castle, eh? This must be the main high street, Dave. Commercial Hotel, the Three Horseshoes Hotel. We'll have a look down this way. Oh, this takes us over towards Bowes. Right, it's a bloody big high street, isn't it? Goes on and on and on. Golden Line, that's an old pub, isn't it? So what we'll do is we'll come down here and we'll find a place to turn around and come back through it. We'll find a place here and we'll turn around. So, Barnard Castle, Dave. Hope you and your wife have some happy memories here. The Cricketer's Arms, eh? Looks like it's open. So yes, that was Barnard Castle, folks, and we're going to head over towards Middleton in Teesdale. Standing proud, aren't they? And we're going to bear left down here towards Middleton in Teesdale.